guys, we have had a package from a great company called Freewell. They have sent me things in the past, mainly for the DJI Mini 3 Pro drone. So they've sent me some more bits to play with. Some more filters for a drone. These are for the DJI Avatar, the new FPV drone that they've released. Luckily, I have access to one of these. I don't know if I'll be flying it. It may be down to my photographer mate who's got one, and he's going to get the opportunity to have these and play around with them and basically give me a review on them, because obviously I've used the same filters basically for the Mini 3 Pro. Anyway, they've sent me the standard day pack, the Avatar, I don't know how you want to say it. And then a UV filter, which is always handy just to have on generally, and the polarizer filter. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on with these. I think he'll love them. I use mine on my Mini 3 all the time, so these are really helpful, especially on certain times of the day when there's a lot of sun or whatever. You need to slow that down, especially I think with the FPV drone it'll help because you're flying low and fast a lot, so I think they will come in very handy. This is a filter bag from them, a Freewell filter bag, and this is actually awesome because I've actually been looking for a filter bag, a filter pouch or whatever for a long time, and I could never find one that would actually kind of worked that brilliantly. It's a hard case. It comes with the usual bits and pieces, instructions and whatever. So a quick dabble in here. Normally got very good little instruction cards. There we go. And you always get a nice little cleaning cloth. There's something. Oh, it just feels heavy. You've got there, learn the basics about photography. So if you, I don't know if you can see that. If you can scan that, feel free. It's their video tutorials on photography, and then you've got a little guide on the actual filters themselves, which ones to use and kind of when to use them, which is quite useful, especially for someone who's new to it. Talking about long exposures, up to an ND1000 down to an ND128 and anything in between. The graduated filters, a 3-stop, a 4-stop and a 5-stop. You've got a clear night filter, a few other bits and pieces as well, so that's cool. Yeah, so nice cleaning cloth in there, which is always handy to have, because I don't know about you, but I always manage to get them dirty and they end up actually putting smears and stuff on your things, on the lenses sometimes. Anyway, it opens up like that. And Freewell have been amazing, and what they've done is they have included a couple of their magnetic filters for me to try, which are absolutely awesome. So I'm going to go out with these in a second and have a play. So I've got a circular polarizer, which is very helpful, and they've sent me a ND64 as well, which is actually quite handy to have on a bright sunny day. Also for a little bit of long exposure and stuff like that, and also got a magnetic lens cap, so you can actually put it straight over the front of these, and it's hard metal. So yeah, let's go and have a little play. I'll go for a little drive and see what we can accomplish with them just briefly and see what they're really like. But it's a really cool case. I've got other ND filters which will fit in here as well, but having the magnetic one I think is going to be so much better because you can just swap them over really quick. I don't use filters all that much, but a polarizer is definitely one that is very helpful to have, and something like an ND64 on a really bright day, so you can get, if you need to do a little bit of long exposure on a waterfall or something like that, it gives you the option to stop down a little bit and then cut the light a little bit, which is very helpful. And also, bright sunny day and you want a little bit of motion blur on your videos or whatever, it's also there. But obviously they do many gradients of those ND filters anyway. They've just sent me 2, which is fabulous. So anyway, let's go and have a play with these. I've just got to wait for these ones really, because the guy who's going to have these, he's in Scotland right now, and it's a shame these didn't turn up quicker because he could have taken them to Scotland and flown a drone around up there. But we'll have to do something a little bit more local with these. Anyway, he's going to have some fun with them. But anyway, like I say, don't be scared to go and have a look at their website. Their website's really cool. Lots of different things on there for sale. Another thing is I actually didn't even realise they made. So go and have a look. It's www.freewellgear.com, and yeah, I think there was a scan on here. So if you've got your phone and you want to scan it, scan that, and then you can have a quick look without typing anything in. But yeah, really cool. Right, let's go play. Right, hi guys. So I'm out in the woods at the minute. I've just found another little waterfall, which you'll see on here. So Rx10 Mark IV, out and about, absolutely love it. Been using it for many years now, and I had a few months ago now, when I bought the Mini 3 Pro for DJI, the drone, I had an email because I'd put a few videos up about it on YouTube. And Freewell approached me. They are a filter company. I don't know if you can see that. And I spoke to Tony, one of the reps there, the guy about the marketing and stuff like that. And they sent me, originally they sent me some filters for the Mini 3 Pro. Anyway, he sent me now to try out and have a look at, which is absolutely perfect for what I need for the Rx10. I'll probably use them on the A1 as well. Is some of their magnetic filters. So they're really cool. You get, well, I'm not sure how they come. If you buy a pack or anything, you get this, but he sent me the little pouch as well, which is really cool. And basically, they're super low profile. Just put it in my pocket for a second. And when you basically screw one part on, you end up, if I can get it off, with a two-part situation. So this is the ring that screws onto your camera. This is they've got a circular polarizer on there at the minute, and it just basically clips on. So it's a really quick, easy setup. And obviously, this camera only uses one lens, so it's really good. Means we can actually just have one ring on. So it just screws on like any normal filter. I would say straight away, do not do them up tight. I did it up a little bit too tight earlier, and I struggled to get it off. So I'll just go finger tight like that, because they're so low profile you can't get on them very easy to get them undone, just because I gave it a quick try earlier. So yeah, just a little tiny little nip up on the filter thread there. So that's attached, and then you literally just pull it off. Simple as. These are really high quality. They are very good. Not cheap by any means, but I think pretty good value for what they do, because at the end of the day, there's nothing more annoying than trying to mess around, unscrewing the filter while you're doing this and the other, where now I can literally, if I do this quickly, grab one of the other ones, which I don't need the magnetic ring for. Oh no, that's actually a magnetic cap. I didn't even know that. Is that right? Am I being stupid? No, that's right. So basically, take off that magnetic filter, put it in the bag, and then straight on with that filter. So it's an ND filter. I think it's ND64, that one. But it's got a magnetic lens cap as well, which I don't know how you get. Oh yeah, just pick it off. So I got it up the right way, Stu. Yeah. So that's actually really cool. So obviously you can put the lens cap back on, pop it off. So now I've got an ND64 on there, so it's quite a dark filter, but that's going to allow me to do some long exposures with water. So I'm going to go back to the other waterfall because I haven't got a tripod with me, but there's a couple of posts there, so we can put the camera on the post and we can literally just sort of blag it really, but it should work absolutely fine. So that's really cool. The fact that you can literally just take it off, carry on shooting, put it on quickly. Benefit of that is I've had a couple of times where I've got the ND filter on and some wildlife has come out of somewhere and I'm like, shit, and I'm trying to unscrew the filter to be able to take the shot, obviously, and I couldn't get it undone and it had gone. So this way you can literally just pop it off straight away, literally well, not even half a second. Or if I decide I now want the polarizer on there, or I can stick the polarizer on top of this one as well. You can go multiple filters. It doesn't show up at this level here. It does not show up in the camera at all. You can still get your lens hood on if you need your lens hood on, but obviously you can't do it very easily or swap them over very easily when you're trying to use them. Or if you've got a circular polarizer, for example, you wouldn't have the hood on because you won't be able to rotate it to change the reflections. So, but really cool, and yeah, I'm really pleased with this. So let's go and back to the other waterfall and have a little play, see what we can capture. So an ND64, to get that to even be able to see, I'm at ISO 10,000, guys, just so you know. Let's give the water a nice colour though. 1/50th of a second. We'll go to the maximum ISO. We're obviously not going to use that for as we go, but I just thought I'd see what it looked like as it was. So let's wander back to the other waterfall and see what we can capture. So even now, guys, I am at ISO 4000 at 1/50th of a second at f2.4. So obviously for video, the old ND filters are quite handy to give you the right shutter speeds and stuff like that. So at the moment I'm at 1/50th of a second. I'm filming at 50 frames a second. So if we go to 100, that should look about right. But an ND64 in this light is not quite good. Might be right once we get out of the undergrowth on the trees, but obviously I've had to push the ISO up quite significantly to let me have the exposure on. But if we drop it down, it's quite cool to give it almost like a moody wood kind of feeling, isn't it? And we're walking, it's almost like it's night time, or heading towards night time. And the way the squirrel but yeah, this gives it an interesting appearance. We'll check the other bridge this time. Back to the waterfall to have a little experiment with a couple of long exposures and see what I can actually do without having to bring the without having to shut down the aperture too much. Because on this camera, the Rx10, f5.6 is really the highest you really want to go. Honestly, at f16 it's totally fine, but it does look a little bit softer than it would be, just because of the lens design. So anyway, sun's out, and yeah, a bit of blue sky as well, which is amazing. So I've still got the ND filter on, ND64. So these filters are $100 each. So let's say not cheap, but so far really good quality. So even at 1/4 of a second at f2.8, I've got a nice exposure. And if we zoom in, get the camera locked, you can actually get a time-lapse effect quite easily. Like so. So I was taking some photos now. I was up to 5 seconds with no real problems. So if we stop the lens down to f5.6, for example, we can then increase the slow the shutter speed down and get some longer exposures as well. So guys, after speeding my shutter speed back up to more of a usable rate, I shot some HFR. So these are at 500 frames per second, because the Rx10 Mark IV can do up to 1000 frames per second, which is really handy in some respects. Quality is a little bit up and down depending on what you're going for, but if the light's nice, you can get some cool stuff like this. A little bit of sharpening, a little bit of contrast change, and it seems to be pretty nice.
But key is really good light. Unfortunately, it wasn't brilliant, but it gives you a nice little idea of what else we can do with that camera.
Right, so guys, I've now got the polarizer on. Let's just see how much this changes as I rotate. Bring it in and out quite nicely. In fact, it looks really nice. Like that. Lovely. There. Beautiful. And if I take it off, you can see a little bit of difference. Obviously it's not perfect because the reflections on this isn't great because there's not much sun out at the moment, but it will help. A huge difference on glass and other reflective surfaces like cars and stuff like that. So anyway, let's wander back and take a few more pictures on the way. See what else we can capture. Always looks quite nice. There's an old shot.
So here you can see anywhere between 2.5 to 5 second exposures I was getting with quite bright. The sun was coming in and out a little bit, hence why you'll see a couple of the exposures change slightly. I haven't edited these at all. They're literally just JPEG straight out of the camera. I was shooting raw and JPEGs, but I've just left them so you guys can have a look and see exactly how they will come out. Wider angle shot there, as you can see, plenty of water spill movement in the waterfall there. Looks pretty good. A little bit limited where I was, but this is also another thing as well. With the polarizer filter on, it gave me a lot more control in the clouds, a little bit more bluish sky. That's without a filter, and this is with the filter. The shutter speeds are slightly different, but it really gave me a nicer reflection and also just a better sky generally. So it does help a little bit. I found a random Audi TT parked up. This is with the filter off, and this is with the filter on, and rotated to push the reflections and everything where I wanted them to be, so I could see straight through the windscreen, and it gave me some nice reflections on the side of the car as well. Looked pretty cool. And this is the difference between with and without. The sun did come out on the left hand one, so the exposure is slightly wrong. But you can get the difference in the glass. So you just got to look at the glass. And then here it's me actually rotating the filter, and you can see the difference in change. So I really like having a polarizing filter. Very, very handy to have. And yeah, it's one of those things I think everyone should kind of have in the bag, especially for certain things. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Any questions about the filters and anything like that, feel free to ask. Also, don't forget to click the subscribe button, little notification bell as well. And if you do have any questions at all, feel free to ask below. And go and check out Freewell's website, as I explained earlier. Have a look, see what you think.